Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Nam Sankirtan ki Shri Prabhupada ki jai Shri Nitai Sachi Sutta ki Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki Shri Radha Paraseshwar ki Shri Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Marathon ki Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai Harinam Sankirtan ki jai Gaura Premanandi Gurantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Haribo Hare Krishna Hari Bol. So Hare Krishna, we like to, you already welcome, but I didn't. We welcome Vidura Prabhu here to join us for the Prabhupada Transcendental Book Marathon. Are you staying for the whole marathon, or what's the plan?
He's moving to Paris.
Pardon?
He's moving to Paris. He's going to become head pujari.
That's what I've heard.
Are you moving to Paris?
No, not really.
You're staying. You know how long you're staying?
Probably until Namacharya goes back.
Okay, so another week, another 5 days, 6 days and something. 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, something around. Good, well, try to do a little bit of book distribution. We know it's your, I know you're feeling such pain on not being able to go out every day on the book distribution due to intense commitments from other areas of your life. And that I'm sure you can release a little bit of the pain by, joining us as well. The wonderful thing about the marathon is that it's not, there's some devotees who, for, obvious reasons, Krishna's hand is working in everything, and distribute large numbers of books, and some of us distribute not many books. But it's like every part of the body is equally important. And different parts of the body may appear to be doing more than others, but they can't do it without the presence of the other parts of the body. So every little effort is all part of the whole. And some of us, some of us do like one magazine or 2 small books or something, It's magnificent, it's incredible. It's not you have to do, 5 million books or something in order to succeed in Krishna consciousness. It's the effort, it's the heart. And sometimes when we really struggle, those are the days when Krishna's mercy really descends. We really have to wonder and take shelter of the holy name, and take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas and Radha Krishna, Gaurnitai and so on. We're here to take shelter. We're here to give shelter. The whole spiritual world is shelter. It's giving shelter. Krishna comes to this world to give shelter. Pure devotees come to this world to give shelter. We're trying to take that shelter and share that shelter with others. I was just thinking just now as we were chanting, thinking of the coward boys, that going on Sankirtan, you can look at it in hundreds of different ways. But one way you can look at it is the coward boys are going out in the morning with the cows and the calves into the pasturing grounds. Many things happen when you go into the pasturing grounds, at least in Boma Vrindavan. We see sometimes demons come along and try to interfere with the business of the coward boys, cause trouble sometimes. They try to. Of course, for them it's all part of the fun. Why? Big Prabhupada said that in one letter he wrote when we were traveling in England in 1972 on Sankirtan. He wrote a letter to our party leader, Prabhu Vishnu Prabhu, saying, that it's very austere, and sometimes people are not interested. But for you, Prabhupada said, it's simply fun. So like that, it's not always easy to see it like that. But how Krishna's hand, if we remember Krishna's hand, working in every situation, we just try to take shelter, take hold of Krishna's hand, take shelter of his lotus feet, and do our little best to try to be instruments for the books to just go where they're meant to go. And you never know. I know some devotees who distributed one book, but that one book, is gone to somebody who later on becomes, a serious devotee and becomes an ambassador of the Sankirtan movement. So it's not quantity only. Krishna has other plans. He knows what's best for us. Of course, we all want to do many, many books. We want to do many things for Prabhupada's service, for his movement. But, whatever, Krishna knows best. We just try our best, do our best to do a little bit in this great mission, this great mission of Lord Chaitanya. We just try a little bit, just like we understand from the Battle of Lanka. If you look at the results on the Battle of Lanka, how much did Hanuman do in the Battle of Lanka? Did he win? Was he top of the chart? Possibly. Maybe Sugriva was pretty good up there too. There was a few big scores, right? Big scores. How many demons they killed? Some big scores, right? And of course, Ram and Lakshman, they don't count in that sense. But amongst our followers, there were some big scores, very big. Amongst Ravana's followers, there were some big scores too. was in Kumbhakarna. He scored a lot. Indrajit, they had big scores too. Of course, they were on the wrong side. But on the side of Lord Ram, some of them were doing big things. But you know, when they were building the bridge across to Lanka, Hanuman, of course, was doing the most. How many mountains did you do today? How many mountains did you collect, right? And put in the bridge. So Hanuman was probably the biggest collector, probably. They didn't have sum-up machines, but he was probably the biggest collector. He didn't need a sum-up machine. He could fly in the sky. So, Lord Ramchandra kind of rebuked him, chastised him practically. Why? You're doing great service. I mean, of course, it's all part of the Lord's plan to show us. As Prabhupada says, sometimes to a daughter, the mother teaches the daughter-in-law. Because the daughter-in-law may not be able to take direction from her new mother-in-law, but the daughter is used to it. So through Hanuman, Krishna taught us a lesson. What was that lesson?
There was an ant that was bringing little stones.
Pardon?
There was an ant that was bringing...
What's become an ant? I've heard a squirrel and I've heard a spider, but I've not heard an ant before.
I heard an ant.
So, okay. Well, maybe it will be a microbe next. Whatever it was, some little creature. Usually we hear a squirrel or a spider. I've actually never heard an ant before. That's a nice example. The ant, okay, or whatever it was just pushing some grains of dust into the ocean on behalf of Lord Ramchandra's endeavor. So what did Hanuman do? I mean, what was the story? Told him, move aside, you're getting in the way. We're doing, what was the use of what you're doing? Next to nothing. We have big work to do here. But Lord Ramchandra was not at all, let's say, impressed by Hanuman's statement. Said, that spider is doing more than you. He's doing according to his capacity. According to his capacity. He was doing maximum without false pride. But you're doing it with false pride. You have capacity to do a lot. Now that's not to belittle those who are doing a lot in any way. That's also absolutely glorious. But we should be just a little bit conscious of that. It's not the quantity which determines necessarily the relationship with Krishna. If we can do a lot and we don't care, that's something else. It's the attitude that we're trying, the endeavor. We all know the story of the sparrow that laid its eggs on the ocean. Endeavor sincere. The sincerity of purpose, Prabhupada said, is what really matters. That we're trying, with difficult it is sometimes, we all know. As I said yesterday, even the most experienced Sankirtan devotees, they have their ups and downs too. We certainly do. Even the best of the best sometimes have days where it just doesn't happen. Isn't it? You haven't been a full-time Sankirtan devotee, but you've seen those who are. And Bhaktisar, you've also seen, sometimes even the best book distributors have their ups and downs, isn't it? For whatever reason. Krishna's hand, or maybe something else going on in our minds some days, or whatever it is. Some reasons are there. Krishna knows everything. So don't be despondent if you don't do too as many books quantitatively as you did yesterday, or someone else is doing. Where competition is nice and exciting, but it's not the goal of our life. We're trying to mold our life for the pleasure of Krishna. Ultimately go back to Godhead, of course. So we're going out on the Sankirtan. It's a little like the cowherd boys. They're going out herding the cows, and they come back in the evening. Of course, they don't distribute books, but they take the cows out to munch on the grass. Don't go away. We're going to read the book scores in a second.
I have to clean up a few things.
What for? You're going to clean up on Sankirtan today. We were talking about that.
In a public place. So
Public toilet?
That's where they set up the prasadam, so I just have to clean up.
Give 1 minute. You've got another minute or two. No way. So, I know how much grass the cows ate, or how many calves there were, or whatever it is. Some of the cowherd boys had 100 million calves. One cowherd boy with 100 million calves. and someone had 1 million. But, everything was perfect. So it's fine. So we're going to read yesterday's book scores, and it's all glorious to all the devotees who went out yesterday, or someone other distributed books yesterday, and many probably not even mentioned that they did it. Or even those who didn't, but supported those who did, the cooks, the cleaners, the this, the that, the carriers, the whatever, organizers, everything. But this Sankirtan movement is all auspicious, all beneficial for humanity at large. On the Harinam last night in the rain, devotees were chanting and dancing. Quite a lot of devotees came. And we have yesterday in Chateauroux. Chateauroux, you didn't make it. They were expecting you to come out and distribute books with them for 2 hours. But he decided he wanted to get to Paris urgently to distribute books here. So in Chateauroux yesterday, Chandni did 2 small books. Oh. And in Lyon, Eric did 1 Mahabig book. And in Chateauroux yesterday, with 1 Mahabig book, 2 medium books and 3 small books. Back to mice. Back in action again. And then somewhere here and there, maybe on the street, maybe on the metro, I don't know. But with 2 Mahabig books, Petit Pavan Prabhu. And over a period, a little bit here and there over the last few days, with 4 Mahabig books and 1 small book, Kasturi Manjari. And I think in the city yesterday with 4 Mahabig books, 2 medium, 1 small, and 1 magazine, Himanshu Prabhu. And with 3 Mahabig, this is on Sankirtan yesterday evening, just in the evening, a little while. 3 Mahabig books, 1 big book, 5 medium books, and 1 small book, Jiva Prabhu. And somewhere or another, with 3 Mahabig books and 2 Arabic books, Bhakti Yumi. She's going to Mauritius soon, isn't she?
That's the way.
Does anyone know when she leaves?
I think 12 December.
Huh?
12 or 13.
12th, around the 12th. She wants to distribute books there. She's already arranged with the temple president there that she can distribute books in Mauritius. And she wants it to be part of Paris. And the temple president said, that's fine. No problem. So then we went, there's a whole list of us here in a row almost. We went to the university, Science University. Yeah? What's that? I can never, Juicy? What's that suburb pronounced? How do you pronounce it? Usia? Huh? You say it loud and clear, Eleanor? Jussieu. Okay. Easy as juice. Whatever the name is, it's one of those words that's difficult to pronounce. Anyway, there's a university there with very big science university, and someone told me it's the biggest science university in Paris. I don't know. It's all science students, and thousands of them. It's part of Sorbonne University branch. It's all science, that particular part. It's spread out here and there. Oh, yeah. But that's just one big block of science students. And at lunchtime between 12, you were there? You studied there?
No, I studied in Sorbonne, but a different place.
Different part of Sorbonne. Rohini Nandan, did he study there?
That's what he said.
He studied at that university, I believe. And anyway, we calculated by little experience we have of trying to distribute books at university that between 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock is probably the most busy time for students. They mostly come out for lunch break, and that's what happened. I mean, they were pouring out, right? Vimananda's doing the puja, but they were pouring out, wasn't it, Eleanor? Between like 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock. They were just pouring out the university. It was like ants coming out of an anthill, you know. There were like so many of them pouring out. And then they all poured back in about, 1:30 to 2:15. But they were much better when they poured out. When they poured in, they weren't very interested. They were rushing to their studies, I think, or something. And they spent all their money anyway on their burgers or whatever they eat at lunchtime. And, it's such a life, isn't it? They rush out, and then they have to eat something quickly and rush back in again. Isn't this nectar? So blissful. And anyway, we gave it a crack, and it was a worthwhile crack. We, like you were making up packets here, They're both aiming at 100 packets each today. And we'll have to order more Arabic books tomorrow. They're the Arab, what do we say? Something like that. The Arabs. So that's wonderful. But yesterday we went there and we didn't count, we just divided it between the four of us, whatever went out. We had these packs of Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj's magazine, a little brochure, not brochures, like a little small book. They're not actually small books, they're about 30 pages long. So we put them in packs, you know. Some packs were 12 books in, some were 8, some were 4. And the students, many of them were really interested. They were giving donations, and Bhagavad, about 6 Gitas went out also, and they paid for them. Some we gave some away to students who were really interested, but mostly people gave donations. Life Comes from Life was very popular. And Bhagavad Gita was very popular, right? I think those 2 books particularly were very popular amongst the books. And these science magazines and books on science. So it's a very worthwhile endeavor, and it was fun. A lot of fun and interesting things happened. So this is the division of the scores, so between us all. So Mahananda Prabhu, as I say, I divided. 1 Maha Big Book, 6 medium books, 6 small books, 32 magazines, and 1 Arabic book. Yay! Myself. You notice the scores are pretty similar. 1 Maha Big Book, 6 medium books, 7 small books, and 33 magazines, and 1 Arabic book. And Priyarani. We gave the ladies more because they did more. They were, whatever, Mananda missed his train, so he was a little bit late getting there, but otherwise he was doing. Priyarani, I always said the name first. 2 Maha Big Books, 7 medium books, 8 small books, 33 magazines, and 1 Arabic book. And then here in Paris, wow, I had a good day yesterday. Leela Manjari, 6 Maha Big Books, 10 medium books, and 12 small books. Wonderful. That's wonderful, thank you. And yesterday, it looks like Arabs only. 2 Maha Big Books, 2 medium books, and 7 Arabic books. Mahadevi. Haribol Mahadevi, that was wonderful. We met a lot of Arabic people yesterday. And then here in Paris, all doing their yagya on the streets of Châtelet in Hell. Châtelet in Hell, is that what it's called? Châtelet in Hell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, something like that. With 8 Maha Big Books, 5 medium, 7 small, 2 magazines, and 2 Arabic books. Back to Matia. And because she went out last night and did quite a lot of books in about an hour, in fact, added on to the university scores, which were little ones, of course, with 8 Maha Big Books, 9 medium books, 9 small books, 34 magazines, and 1 Arabic book. Martin Eleanor. Whoa. That's your top score of the marathon so far, I think. And then, my goodness, steady as a rock. Steady as a rock, with 17 Maha Big Books and 3 medium books. Namacharya Prabhu. Oh, now we go to the big guns. The big guns. Now with 18 Maha Big Books, 6 medium, 4 small, 1 magazine. Dayanatai Prabhu. And then with 19, 17, 18, 19, all in order there. 19 Maha Big Books, 12 medium, 6 small, 6 magazines. Ekanath Prabhu. You have to get into the Arabic preaching and you can do more points, you know. We're here to do points, you know that. We're not interested in books, we're only interested in points. Points, right? Points. Anyway, they're both fun. And then, very amazing. She's got other services every day, but she's really doing an amazing endeavor to get the devotional spirited there in New Mayapur with 3 Maha Big Books, Shatarudas, 9 medium books, 9 small books, and online 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set. Boo, Chitra Leela! Very well. She's done very well. She's already exceeded her quota by 4 times. She's already done 4 times her quota this marathon. You heard that, Vidura?
Yes.
Did you hear it? Yeah. You can really go back there. You've got to get them. I don't know what's happening with all the others. They're not doing nothing. We had these promises when one day he said, I'm going to beat Aristanasana, this and that. And they haven't done a single book so far.
I never show up in the new life book.
Huh?
I never see him in the new life book.
Well, I see him regularly. I see him regularly there. At lunchtime he comes, lunchtime. But he all these Bhagavatam sets and nothing's happened. I don't know what he's doing. His car broke down and he can't get out the door. That was the last news I heard. But what to do? We're working on it. And then the big guns, the real big guns, the cannons are coming in now with 40. Top Bhagavad Gita distributor yesterday, by the way, as normal, with 43 Bhagavad Gitas, not just Maha, all Bhagavad Gitas, 3 medium, 5 small, and 5 magazines. Aristanasana Prabhu. And I can't remember where it was. Was it in Toulon again, or was it in Marseille? Still in Toulon, okay. Been doing there the last 5 days or so. And then, and this is a surprise addition to our marathon. Normally he doesn't take part in the marathon, but this year, with 9 Maha Big Books, is partly I have to thank his health because he had to come back for some operations. And he's got stuck in the country for 3 months. So. Normally he's in India at this time of year. With 9 Maha Big Books, 5 medium books, 7 small books, 2 Arabic Gitas, 1 small Arabic book, and 1 Srimad Bhagavatam set, which he sold in a shop, one of his business shops. He does business in shops in here in France. Devaki Pran Prabhu. His 3rd top score yesterday, amazing. And then, oh my goodness me, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. Not just the score, but the closeness of the score is just, it's almost like a magazine difference between them almost. 1 medium book difference, that's all. With 40, we won't tell you which way around it is yet. You probably guessed who we're talking about here. And it's not Vidura. We know he did. His score we'll read later. He did so many books on the train yesterday.
Yes.
All the boxes, that's why no books. I ordered all these boxes of books from New Mayapur. Nothing came. He sold them all on the train.
Yes, I could not resist.
Couldn't resist it. Yeah. Even the ticket collector, right?
Yes.
With 42 Bhagavad Gitas, 1 big book, 2 medium books, 4 small books, 15 magazines, and only 57 Arabic books. Rasananda. Rasananda Sankirtan Prabhu. And just for your information, and inspire you all, that comes to 259.5 book points. Whew. That's more than we were doing, all of us in the first few days. In points, anyway. But beaten, thrashed, absolutely thrashed yesterday with 40 Bhagavad Gitas and 60 Arabic books. Simple as that. That's all you have to do. Go to Saint Denis and just distribute 100 Arabic books. It's as easy as pie. And you'll be the top book distributor of the day, okay? Okay, Vidur, you got that?
Okay.
All right. There's 60 Arabic books. Harini Devidasi! Haribo! Well, that's really inspiring on your first day out. She was scared stiff yesterday morning. She said, I don't know how to distribute books in France. And that makes a total of Rasananda Sankirtan Prabhu did 259.5 book points, and Harini did 260.0 book points. So, my goodness, couldn't have been closer if you tried. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, whatever it is all amazing. Nothing to do with us. We're not attached. But yesterday, 237 Maha Big Books. Pretty good. 2 big books, 94 medium, 92 small, 162 magazines, 2 Arabic Gitas, 133 Arabic small books, 2 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and a point total of 1,100 and 17.2 book points. Whoa. If we do that every day, we'll equal last year's marathon.
Wow.
Well, we're hoping a few others are going to jump on board, like some of these, even who's threatened. We've got devotees in the south who are planning to go out shortly, some book distributors, from friends around the country, and we haven't got anything much from Reunion at all so far. They were big last year. And nothing at all from Martinique and Guadeloupe, nothing at all so far. Nothing at all from Nancy. We're not sure if there's going to be anything coming from Nancy. They were the biggest last year, so we're not sure about that one yet. They threatened that they were going to do something, but they've only ordered 5 books so far, so I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they expand the 5 books or something, let's see. And whatever, a few others who might suddenly appear on the horizon here. So yes, and I don't think it's updated yet, the total scores. It wasn't updated as of this morning, but it's probably not updated now either. No, it's not. We're trying to get him to update it to... Jivananda Prabhu, we have to thank him for doing all the book scores, calculating, so to speak. But someone who hasn't done the setting or whatever, I don't know what it involves, to set it till the end of the month. He only set it like the day before yesterday. And it's like that every day, so we don't know what the total scores are. But I can give you an estimate within a few days of, just a rough estimate. We've done about 1,500 Gitas so far. Around about 1,500 Gitas so far, and about 350 Arabic small, and about 6,000 book points, just to give you an idea, so far on the marathon. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. That was a class and a score sheeting 1 almost. So now we go on to we read the Bhagavatam, and where is it? Is it still around, or has it gone to sleep? It went back in the bookshelf. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So just see, we're all cowherd boys and cowherd girls going out with the cows and the calves today into the pasturing grounds. Don't worry how many calves and cows you have. Just do your best to herd them. There's a lot of people out there that need herding. Help to bring them into the herd, right? All the people out there, we want them all to become a part of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan. It's another example, of course. The Rasa Leela is given an example to bring everyone into the Rasa dance of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. This is Sankirtan. And it starts with a little magazine. It starts with a little smile. It starts with just looking at a devotee or a book. It may not start with, immediately taking Krishna consciousness on hand, but just recognition. Those who are going on chanting, just that little recognition that people get the benefit. Even if they just hear a little bit, it may not be the purest of sound, but that little bit is a start, is a spark of their spiritual beginnings for many of them. What verse number today?
We start with number 10, but there is no purport, so we will change.
Okay. Which was on the board, 11 or 10?
11.
Okay, I'll read 10 first. Tasya asanam aninye mahendra mahadadbhutam murti matyak sarichtrishta hema kumbhaya jalang shuchi. The king of heaven, Indra, bought a suitable sitting place for the goddess of fortune. So the goddess of fortune, Rama, has just appeared at the churning of the ocean, and naturally everyone's captivated in this world by the goddess of fortune in her various features, whether it's the beautiful body of a woman or whether it's funds, money, possessions, property, wealth of various kinds. Everyone's attracted to gold, isn't it? It has a natural attraction to it, but it's not just because of artificial, let's say, creation. We put an artificial monetary system everyone's attracted to. If you see a 50-euro note lying on the floor, most people will immediately go for it. Though it's useless, at all intents and purposes, nothing but rubbish. It's no different than a paper bag in one sense, but it has a certain artificially created value, which we're very attracted to. But if there was a bar of gold lying on the ground, I think human beings, those who know anything about value, would definitely be attracted, absolutely attracted. We'd fight over it, kill each other over it. Gold, it's gold. It's worth a lot of money, I guess. A lot of sense enjoyment can be obtained. So there's attraction. So everyone was attracted to Rama, or the goddess of fortune, who is, by her grace one gets fortune, gets wealth. All the rivers, so to bring a suitable sitting place. You want to get something from somebody, you've got to treat them nicely. You've got to know what they want, and accordingly, it's like that in the Sankirtan to some extent, a large extent, in fact. Some people have kind of a natural knack, and most of us don't, but some people do. They just know how to make people feel just completely comfortable and, relaxed and even proud about themselves, and they become very, oh yes, what do you want? They become very soft-hearted. So bring her a chair, make her comfortable, maybe she'll be attracted to me, and so on, if we serve them. All the rivers of sacred water, such as Ganges and Jamuna, personified themselves, and each of them brought pure water in golden water pots for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. And today's verse you can repeat. Abhishechanikaha Bhumihi Aharat Sakala Oshadi Gavaha Pancha Pavitrani Vasantak Madhavo. I'll just read it through a couple of times and we'll move on. Excuse me, it's so small I can hardly read it. Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakalo Shadihi. Thank you. Also it's a little dull. Gavak Pancha Pavitrani Pasanto Madhu Madhavo Abhishechanika Bhumir Aharat Sakalo Shadihi Gavak Pancha Pavitrani Vasanto Madhu Madhavo Abhishechanikaha. Paraphernalia required for installing the deity. Bhumihi, the land. Aharat, collected. Sakala, all kinds of. Oshadihi, drugs and herbs. Gavaha, the cows. Pancha, 5 different varieties of products from the cow, namely milk, yogurt, clarified butter, cow dung, and cow urine. Pavitrani, uncontaminated. Vasantaha, personified springtime. Madhu Madhavo, flowers and fruits produced during spring or in the months of Chaitra and Vaishakha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The land became a person and collected all the drugs and herbs needed for installing the deity. The cows delivered 5 products, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, urine and cow dung. And spring, personified, collected everything produced in spring during the months of Chaitra and Vaishakha, April and May. Purport. Srila Prabhupada, Panchagavya, the 5 products received from the cow, namely milk, yogurt, ghee, cow dung and cow urine, are required in all ritualistic ceremonies performed according to the Vedic directions. Cow urine and cow dung are uncontaminated, and since even the urine and dung of a cow are important, we can just imagine how important this animal is for human civilization. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, directly advocates Goraksha, the protection of cows. Civilized men who follow the system of Varna ashram, especially those of the Vaishya class, who engage in agriculture and trade, must give protection to the cows. Unfortunately, because people in Kali Yuga are mandaha, or bad, and sumanda matayaha, misled by false misconceptions of life, they are killing cows in the thousands, millions rather, should be thousands, but every day, hundreds of thousands of, maybe millions, I don't know. So many cows are slaughtered. Even in India, although the present president is not in favor of in general, but he can't stop it, of course, it's still going on. Anyone from India here? Sort of. You keep in touch? I have no idea what's going on. They're still killing cows somewhere in India, right? Different places they have slaughterhouses, though it's banned in many places. He has put a ban on it in many places, which, what can you say? It's something. Something pious there, something. May not be enough, but it's something. Creditable. They're killing cows in the thousands. Used to be the biggest slaughterhouse, I think, in the world was in Mumbai. Cow slaughter. They send them, a lot of them, to other countries, but it's going on in great numbers in the land of Dharma. That probably changed a bit, I don't know. Therefore, they are unfortunate in spiritual consciousness, because we may know from the Srimad Bhagavatam that we should hear this Srimad Bhagavatam from the right source. It is actually the medicinal measure to cure the ill effects of Kali Yuga, particularly. Only those who are killing themselves and are butchers, those who are killing animals, they cannot comprehend Krishna consciousness. They may practice some, pseudo or materialistic religious practice of some kind, but they cannot understand spirituality at all, because their consciousness is so contaminated and causing harm to other living entities. Purposely. It's not out of necessity, it's out of wanton, need or desire. It's not out of absolute need. And even if it is, they would never kill a cow. But not everybody understands or accepts that, we know that. So what to do? Therefore, Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement has to be spread widely to try to change the consciousness. It's difficult to start at the grassroots society without leadership, which is, enlightened leadership, which doesn't exist hardly, a little bit, but not much. Therefore, they are unfortunate in so many ways, and nature disturbs them in so many ways, especially through incurable diseases like cancer, and through frequent wars. And among wars, not sure what that means. You get it? Diseases like cancer, and through frequent wars and among nations. Doesn't make sense to me.
It shouldn't be "and among nations." It should just be "wars among nations."
Oh yeah, frequent wars among nations, is it?
I think it should be, but it does have "and" there.
With an "and" word? What did it say in yours?
Here, I think they've corrected it. That shouldn't be there.
Shouldn't be there. Frequent wars among nations. As long as human society continues to allow cows to be regularly killed in slaughterhouses, there cannot be any question of peace and prosperity. There is no question. It has to be a world where there's going to be constant friction, rivalry, wars, and no real prosperity. Their prosperity, look at the prosperity of people in general nowadays. You know, we're supposed to be a very civilized society, but so many people have no money. Huh? No money. That's what they say. I don't know what type of society. It's like students now. They were struggling. When I was a student, I never had any shortage of money, and my parents didn't give me a penny. Not a penny. Government gave me everything. Pay for everything. The course, the residence, the food, the parties, the drugs, everything they paid for. No shortage. But now they all seem to be penny pinching. And they have loans, and they have to work for 10 years to pay off their loan. Or their mortgage. They have to work hard to pay off the mortgages. Huh? You could buy a house very easily when I was a kid. A couple of £1,000, you could buy a house. Can't even buy a bed for that much nowadays. And we're thinking we're advancing in society. And that's all artificial anyway, but real wealth, people have nothing. They don't have land anymore. They don't even have a garden anymore. Right? You can't get proper food anymore. You've got to pay a lot of money for it, right? Bio, they call it bio. Even that's not really bio, by the way. It's partially bio. We have a bio farm in Malaysia, and it's connected with, I don't know what it's called, one United Nations worldwide organization of organic foods and stuff. And as long as you're 75% bio, you count as fully bio. It's not completely bio, meaning no pesticides, insecticides, and this thing and that thing. It's not pure. It's still what to do. This is the Kali Yuga. How many people have their own cow in Kali Yuga? Very few. In Asia maybe, but not in the West, hardly. Rare. I mean, may not even, if you bought a cow here, we were asking Mahadevi if you were milking the cows yesterday. We thought maybe you brought one of them up in the garden here. You didn't bring one of them up here to milk every morning, huh? No. You get into real trouble if you try to do that. It'd be in the news probably. But you know, how many, you can't do it. What does, and owning land, I mean, they don't even allow you to own land in England. If you're farming more than a certain amount, you're not allowed to do it. You have a bit of land. Then they try to control you. You've got to give everything to them. You have to work under the corporates. It's a whole different world that we're living in. There's all cheating going on. There's no real honesty. There's no real natural living. And people are stressed. So stressed. Rushing out for their lunch break, rushing back in again. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's everywhere like this. But it seems like it's getting that way. People are in such a rush, going nowhere, huh? And then they're struggling. They're living in a little box somewhere, right? A little box. They call it an apartment. A little box somewhere in Sarsal, right? He's happy with it because it's next to the temple. It's small little places. They're all cramped up there. They can't even. There's not even a window that opens sometimes. You can't see. All you see out the back is the backyard. With this tall building going around you. And the smells of everyone else in the apartment block. If you dare open the window, you open the front window and you wish you never did. Close it quickly. And you know, what is it, living there watching the TV or something? Is this civilization? Is this opulence? You know, you spend all your money buying a fancy gadget, electronic gadget or something or another, which, you know, doesn't work when it's too cold. There's so many devotees, mobiles are not working because it's after a certain, it's not even cold. I can't imagine what it would be like if it was freezing. You pay a hell of a lot of money. People queue up all night to get these things. I've seen them outside the Apple store when the latest one comes out. They're there all night. They camp there just to get the latest one. Is this civilization? Piece of junk. In reality, isn't it? We use it, but in reality it's nothing. It's worthless. Completely worthless. Then you serve pure milk. I mean, Prabhupada said people jump for it, but they won't because it costs too much. because of the artificial society. And they think it's dangerous. We were told, when I was a kid in the 50s, we were told that anything that doesn't have chemicals in it is very dangerous for your health. And you have to look on the packet and see how many chemicals were there. And the more the merrier. I told us, maybe we're making the food safe, it's dangerous. We're making food safe for you now. We were told like that. They don't tell you that now, maybe, but that was the beginning of this, processed food business thing. So what type of opulences? People don't know what it's like, most of them, to taste. And my father had an allotment, that means a garden on the edge of the town, where we would go and grow our own vegetables. There's nothing like a homegrown vegetable, isn't it? And it's so nourishing, so satisfying. But no, you can buy it in Ocean for, in a nice packet. You don't have to peel it. You don't even have to cut it if you want. You can buy it already cut. It's really nice. Very nice. Looks good. Nice and bright orange. But, is this really serving a real purpose to be happy? Not really. People don't know where happiness comes from, how to obtain it. Even if they know where it comes from, they don't want to change. They don't know how to obtain happiness. Prabhupada said we started this movement to be happy and to try to help others to become happy, but we're still a bit attached perhaps to the artificial world that we've been brought up in and affected by the results of that, conditioning our attachments and so on. But try to take shelter of Krishna. Sankirtan is a performance of, it's not just an activity, it's a state of consciousness of developing that mentality that Sankirtan means everything is with Krishna in the center. Everything is for them, and trying to just bring everything in relationship with Krishna. Then everything becomes peaceful. Otherwise, competition, artificial exploitation, bad karma, everything becomes overwhelming. People are completely swallowed by the whole scene. And they don't know anything other than what they're in. You see them walking along the street, all they're interested in, they've got these things in their ears, huh? Isn't it? In the metro, it's rare to see somebody who doesn't have a mobile phone in their hand, isn't it? Even old people I see are now sitting there with mobile phones in their hands. It used to be newspapers. You don't see that anymore. It's just mobile phone now. Everyone in the metro would have a newspaper 50 years ago. You'd have to tap the newspaper to see who's behind it. Excuse me, sir, would you like to go to I'm busy reading. Now it's the mobile. You can't get their attention. They've got these things on their ears, Zombies. Everyone's become a zombie. It's a fact. The whole system is to make you a zombie. Simple as that. And if you're not there, then you're walking on the street, many of them are holding it too. They got the things in their ears, I don't know what they're listening to. When I first saw this, I thought, my God, there's a lot. I don't know where it was in some institute. The first time I ever saw people using mobiles with things in their ears. They didn't have ears in those things in their ears. I thought they were talking to themselves. I thought there was a lot of crazy people out there. They're all walking around talking to themselves, going up and down. No, yes, no, take it away. They're talking in public. They have a mobile phone. You can't see it. You see the guy's gone crazy. They don't realize they're, they get so emotionally carried away sometimes, even though, they're in public. It's a so unfortunate situation. Instead of living in nature, herding the cows, taking natural foodstuffs, no need to worry if electricity works or doesn't work. No need to worry if the heating system works or doesn't work. There are no bills coming through the door. There's no threats from the government. There's no buildings you have to worry about that are falling down. You build a new house every year anyway, made out of mud and natural products. You don't have to worry about all these things. Now we just created a society of worry, of anxiety and stress. Isn't it? Pretty much. Where's the peace? And it says here, one major angle, as long as they're killing the cows, this will not stop. There will be wars, people are scared. I mean, a few weeks ago everyone was scared, I don't think they still are, that there's some kind of war going on in the Middle East is going to explode. A couple of years ago it was Ukraine, and it was COVID. And there's always something there, huh? People are scared of. I know there's even devotees today who they're still afraid to go out of their door since COVID began. They don't want to go out that door. They're scared. I mean, you know, I don't mean to say devotees, I don't mean very advanced devotees, obviously, but some degree. And I'm sure they're not the only ones. Paranoid. The world is a paranoid place. It doesn't have to be. If we take shelter of Krishna. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll do our best to do our little bit. We're only tiny little sparks in this great fire of the Sankirtan movement, but every little spark is important. No matter how small it may be, but it's very, very important. Every little bit helps, and helps somebody else, and pleases Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we'll be downstairs if anyone needs. If anyone hasn't handed in their Lakshmi from yesterday, please